Today I'm going to be testing this Ozark Trail 4-in-1 stove with stand. This does look like a pretty small and light stove. It does look like it would be pretty good for backpacking. What I'm wanting to see is how much water can I boil on one fuel tank. It does have this adapter here that you can put on one of those green small propane tanks. But I'm going to be using one of these tanks. It's the butane propane mix. And I've got a thermos here with some ice water in it. I want the water to be cold because if it's winter time and I'm backpacking, the water I'm boiling is liable to be cold. If I was backpacking, I might eat one of these as a meal. This one calls for 12 ounces of water. These little coffee singles, they call for 6 to 8 ounces. So I'm going to measure my water 12 ounces at a time. I'll be able to figure out how many cups of coffee or how many of these Mountain House meals that I can make. And I've got this little cup right here that I'm going to use to measure out 12 ounces at a time. I've got this little shallow dish that I'm going to be using. I like it because it has a lid in to hold more of the heat. It is about 70 degrees right now. The high is about 72, so it's going to get a little bit warmer. After that comes to a boil, I'm going to pour that hot water out. Keep adding cold water. I'll use cold water each time. Every time I boil the water, I may take that stove off and then put it back on the butane tank. That way, if there's just a tiny amount of leakage of fuel, it'll account for that as well. So there is the first cup. That did not take long. That boiled within about 5 minutes probably. Sometimes when you're taking the tank off, you'll hear it, a little bit of gas escape. It'll go psst. So that's why I want to do that each time. But so far I have not heard it with this one. This is cup number 6 right here, and I'm letting it get up to a vigorous boil. I ended up getting 25 pots there, 12 ounces a piece. That comes out to 300 ounces or 2.3 gallons. So that would be enough to make 25 Mountain Houses or 50 cups of the Folgers there. The one thing I didn't talk about, that stove, they cost about $15. I got it from Walmart. The fuel is $6.47. I also got it from Walmart. And I'll give you another look at this fuel tank. It says self-sealing C250 butane propane mix. The stove here, now one thing I'll say is that burner is small. I wouldn't want to use a big skillet on there or anything like that. I really didn't use the stand too much. Maybe if you had a bigger skillet and you wanted it to balance a little better, you might, but it balanced pretty good on the bottom of this can right here. It does come with this little carrying case right here. And I'll go get the scale and I'll see how much the carrying case and the stove weigh. It's starting to rain a little bit. Let me weigh this stove here. Right at 5 ounces looks like. Yep, 5 ounces. Something else that I noticed about the stove that I liked, I didn't have any, when I screwed it on, I couldn't hear any fuel escape. It looks like there's a gasket there. Looks like there's a little O-ring on the inside too, so maybe both of those gaskets will make it less likely to leak. And overall, the stove did really well, I think. I think this would be a great stove for backpacking.